Hello everyone. Today we shall discuss about linear equation and this is chapter 14. Let us explain what is linear equations and its examples. First of all, we'll learn what is linear equations. The definition of linear equation is an equation involving one variable with highest power 1 is called a linear equation in that variable. Linear equation, the definition of linear equation is equation an equation an equation involving one variable involving one variable involving one variable with highest power 1 is called a linear equation in that variable in that variable. Let us take one example. Suppose I am writing that 5x plus 7 is equal to 22. It is a linear equation. Here you see there is one variable and the variable is x. Variable is equal to x. And there are also constant term. Constant means which have a fixed value. Here the constant terms are 5, 7 and 22. 5, 7 and 22. And also here you see that the power of x is 1. That's why it is called a linear equation. Now we'll learn about solution of equation. What is the solution of that equation? Solution of equation. Solution of equation. What is that? That is the value which when substituted, the value which when the value which when substituted substituted for the value for the variable in an equation makes left hand side is equal to right hand side is called a solution and or you can say or root of the equation, root of the equation. Now there are four basic rules for solving linear equations. These are the basic rules. Rules for solving linear equations. Linear equations. Number one is we can add rule 1. We can add the same number. We can add the same number. We can add the same number to both sides of equation. To both sides of an equation. That is rule 1. And rule 2. Rule 2 is we can subtract the same number from both sides of an equation. We can subtract the same number to both sides of an equation. This is rule 2. There is another rule, that is rule 3. Rule 3 is we can multiply both sides of an equation by the same non-zero number. We can multiply both the sides of an equation by the same non-zero number, by the same non-zero number. And there is another rule, that is rule 4. Rule 4 is we can divide both the sides of an equation by the same non-zero number. We can divide both the sides of an equation by the same non-zero number, by the same non-zero number. These are the basic rules. Besides that, we have another rule, that is transposition, right? And in the next slide, we are doing what is the meaning of transposition, right? Let us find in the previous slide what is that transposition. Next one, what we call it as transposition. Under this process, under this process, under this process, under this process, we can drop under this process we can drop a term from one side of an equation, from one side of an equation and put it on the other and put it on the other side with sign changed. These are the basic rules to find the solution of an equation. Now we will solve some problems of exercise 14a. In the next video, we will solve the questions of exercise 14a. Thank you everybody for watching this video.